everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to see State Board Class 10 Science 1 Chapter number 7 Lenses, and this is the part 3 or the third video in the same chapter. In the first two chapters already we have studied about the lenses, different types of the lenses, the ray diagrams by the convex lens, concave lens. Then after that we studied about the lens formula, magnification formula, magnification power of lens. This all the things we had already studied in a previous two videos. So in this third video for the particular chapter, we are going to see in this about the human eye and working of its lens. When we talk about the human beings or the human body, in that we have the one of the sensory organ which we call as the eye, and eye is one of the important organ of the human body which gives us a sense of vision. To see something, to visualize something, eye is one of the important organ. This particular eye is consists of the lens, and there is some terms, some more things related with the human eye which we are going to see in this particular chapter. So let's begin with this particular video and the part related with the human eye. There's a very thin transparent cover membrane on the human eye. This is called cornea. Light enters the eye through it. So we have a cornea at the beginning, and the maximum amount of incident light is refracted inside the eye at the center or at the outer surface of the cornea. There is a dark fleshy screen behind the cornea. This is called the iris. If you will go back, if you will come this particular section, this particular part, then you can see over here we have the cornea. This layer, what we have, this layer is called as the cornea. And then we have after that the Aries muscles. You can see this Aries muscles. We have this particular section is an Aries muscle which helps in taking the light inside into the human eye. Further is there's a dark fleshy screen behind the cornea. This is called the iris. The color of the iris is different for different people. Different people are having a different color, and the color of the eye which we speak, like someone is having a blue eye, someone is having a green eye, someone is having a black. So this different colors of the eye is because of the Aries muscles. There is a small hole of changing diameter at the center of Aries. We have a small hole at the center of it. You can see this particular portion. This is a small hole we have whose diameter is changing continuously. According to the amount of a light and the intensity of a light, the size of this changes. After that, if the light falling on the eye is too bright, pupil contracts, while if the light is dim, it widens. So this particular pupil, this small hole what we have, that we call as a pupil, and the size of this pupil is changing. If there's a bright light, then it contracts and the size of hole becomes smaller. After that, on the surface of the iris, there is a bulge of a transparent layers. There's a double convex transparent crystalline lens. So this particular section, if you will see, this is something called the lens for the human eye, which helps in making the image. There is a double convex transparent crystalline lens just behind the pupil. The lens provides a small adjustment of the focal length to focus the image. So this particular lens is held by the ciliary muscles. You can see here at the top and here bottom, there's a ciliary muscles. This controls the focus of the lens. According to the image formation and the distance of the particular object and its brightness, the eye is getting adjusted. This eye lens is getting adjusted, and the amount of light which is entering into the human eye through the pupil that falls on this particular lens and forms the image on the back of the eye inside the eyeball. This is a retina we have. On this retina, the image formation is taking place. After that, the cells get excited when light falls on them and generate electric signals. These signals are conveyed to the brain through optic nerve. You can see here there is an optic nerve. This optic nerve goes to the brain, and whatever image is getting formed on the retina, the electrical signals are passed through the optical nerve, and it reaches up to the brain, and brain maps that signal and gives the sense of a vision. After this, when we talk about this particular human eye, the capacity of the lens to change its focal length as per need is called its power of accommodation. It's called as a power of accommodation. Although the elastic lens can change its focal length to increase or decrease it, it can not do so beyond the limit. There is a limit of it, and that's why that is called as the power of accommodation. Further, when we talk about this change in the focal length, you can see over here how the lens focal length is changing. You can see when the object is at a far distance, so that's why the parallel rays we are taking in is forming the image. Thin lens is used for it, and when the object is nearby, then the lens what we have, it's a little widen or the little thick. So it's this kind of adjustments are possible in the human eye's lens, but up to a certain extent. The minimum distance of an object from a normal eye is a 25 centimeter. This means if we want a clear vision of something, then the object should be at least a near point of a 25 centimeter, and the far distance we cannot say about it. It can be infinity also. It depends on the size of the particular object and its brightness. Further, when we talk about the eyeball, it is approximately spherical and has a diameter of almost about 2.4 centimeter. The working of the lens in human eye is extremely important. The lens can change its focal length to adjust and see at different distances. In a relaxed state, the focal length of the healthy eye is 2 centimeter. The other focus of the eye is on the retina. So when we talk about the focus of the eye lens, it is on the retina. Now when we talk about the next part, that is the defects of the human eye, we have seen various peoples are having a different kind of the defects in the eye, and accordingly to correct that they are using a different kind of the glasses which we call as spectacles. Now the spectacles are all are having a different power, different focal length, and that is given by the optician. They are deciding which kind of the, or they are finding out with the help of a different instruments and the arrangements that which people requires which kind of the lens and what should be its power or the focal length. In that, when we talk about the defects of the human eye, that may be a age related, that may be some other defects, that may be a change in the shape of the eyeball, that is also possible. So in that, the first what we are going to learn is the nearsightedness, which is also known as the myopia. Nearsightedness or the myopia. In this particular case, what happened? The eye can see nearby object clearly, but the distant object appears indistinct. Means the person is able to see the near object clearly, but if the object is a little far from the person, then he will not be able to visualize the things clearly, or the image will not be indistinct. Further, as this means that point of the eye is not at infinity but shifts closer to the eye. Means what exactly is happening? If the object is at a far distance, then the image formation take place before retina. You can see it's merging or converging before retina. Means And due to this particular section or this particular part, what happened? The person is not able to visualize the far object clearly. And as we know that concave lens is a diverging lens, we use in this particular kind of the defect of the human eye as a solution for it. So this concave lens diverges the rays. You can observe over here, if I will enlarge this particular picture, then it will be much clear to discuss. You can see here the rays are coming over here and it's getting diverging after the lens, and then when it reaches up to the eye lens, then again it starts to converge and it converges on retina. So by this way we can correct this particular defect of the human eye. Further is the another defect what we have is called as the far-sightedness. In this, what happened, the person is able to visualize the things clearly if the object is at a far distance, but the person is not able to visualize the thing or the objects which is near to him. So in this particular case, what we require a converging lens, because the image formation in this particular kind of a defect is taking place beyond retina. So we want to converge the rays well before that position, means on retina, and for that, in this particular case, we are using a convex lens. So as you can see over here, the object or the rays, when it reaches over here, it start to converge well before the eye lens, and then again it converges and reaches on the retina, or it's getting formed on the retina. So this is about the far-sightedness, which is also known as the hypermetropia. Now the another thing what we have, or the another defect what we have as a presbyopia. Presbyopia is nothing but the situation or the defect of the human eye, which is a age related problem or the defect. You might have seen that the old age peoples, they are using a bifocal lenses. Bifocal lenses, like if I want to draw the picture of it, and the glass like this way, and in that at the center we have a one line, the spectacle, the one glass only I am drawing. Another glass is like this way, it will be like this, and a round section will be here. So this kind of a glass is what we have is a, so if I want to show over here, so this is one focal length and this is the second focal length. This is first focal length and this is the second focal length. This is for the two different distances. This kind of a lenses are called as the bifocal lenses. People's related with the old age issue of the human eye is using this kind of glasses. Why? Because what happened, as the age is growing or the age is increasing, the muscles power in the human body, the muscles power and the muscles which are present in the human eye, they are also becoming weaker, and due to that, eye or the eye lens or the pupil cannot adjust according to the light, and that brings the defect in the human eye, which we call as the presbyopia. So to correct this kind of the defect in the human eye, the bifocal lenses are used. Further is the apparent size of an object. Apparent size, consider here they have given as one example. Consider two objects PQ and P1 and Q1. These both are the objects, and they are at different distances from eye. As the angle alpha subtended by PQ at the eye is larger than the angle beta subtended by P1 Q1, PQ appears bigger than P1 Q1. Thus, the apparent size of an object depends on the angle subtended by the object at the eye. So here what they have given is nothing but the size of the object, what is appear to us is called as nothing but the apparent size, and that depends on the what the angle a particular object is making with the human eye. In this particular case, see, the PQ is nearby to the object eye and it's making an angle of alpha, which is bigger than what this particular object is making or subtending an angle on the eye beta. So here alpha is greater than beta, therefore the object PQ appears bigger than the P1, Q1. So this is about human eye and its defect in this particular chapter, and a short topic like apparent size of an object related with the human eye and its angle. In the next video, we are going to see about the use of a concave lenses and convex lenses.